Just that people know the truth, what happened, that she didn't deserve this, that people are fired for doing this to her.
The only thing I want for my son is peace and justice, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets there.
I want justice for him because he was good. Justice! I want justice for my baby. I want justice for Stephon Clark.
The county's district attorney announced this weekend that no charges will be filed against the two police officers who fatally shot Stephon Clark nearly a year ago.
I was disappointed. For a moment, I believed that my son would be that case because we stood for what was right from the beginning, and we were heard.
As I always explain to people, it's so important for us to talk to those loved ones, especially the mother of a child, because who better to tell their story? Who better to let the world know that their child wasn't just another name, another person, another Black male? Who better to tell their story?
That day, it was Sunday dinner. I was cooking. That was Sunday. And my granddaughter came into the living room and she put on YouTube, Take Me to the King. So she was making up a praise dance because she does praise dances, was at our church. And so she started dancing to it and she had some beautiful steps. And I started crying. Stephon, he started crying. And I said, little Papa, I told you was gonna cry on that song. I told you. So he picked her up and he picked his sister up and he started hugging her. So after that, I said, well, little Papa, you want to get something to eat? And he said, no, Grandma, I'll be right back. And then all I know is that I heard some shooting.
Hey, show your hands! Stop! Stop!
March 2018. This time, it's Sacramento. Two police officers investigating reports of broken windows chased Stephon Clark into a backyard.
Show me your hands! Gun!
Officers say they believed Clark had a gun aimed at them. It turns out it was a cell phone.
I crawled on the floor and I started praying. I said, God, please don't let us get shot. Don't let us get shot. So something like it was the Lord telling me, God telling me to look out the window. And that's when I seen him land on the ground and the phone, everything. I saw everything.
It didn't happen away from the family. This happened in the backyard of Stephon's grandmother. So for them, this reality is real every day because they live with the reality that this young man died. He was killed in the backyard of a relative. So that, I think, only makes it even more difficult because they don't get to, in a sense, detach from the location. They don't get to go anywhere else to process, to deal with. It is there at their home. It is ever present for them. And so those sentiments and those feelings of just, frustration, of pain, of anger, and in some cases just rage at the circumstances, the situation.
We've been robbed of family peace. We all have to have counseling and therapy. My 9-year-old at the time was 7 when that happened. She watched it happen too, next to my mother. She watched her brother get killed. She was the last person to see Stephon alive.
I never thought it would be my grandson. I never thought it would be him in a million years. It was horrible. It was the most worst thing I ever seen in my entire life.
How it played out, even now, years later, those feelings are still very real and very raw for them. I don't get the sense that any of that has gone away. That feeling that there was an injustice and the people that are responsible won't ultimately face the justice that the family seeks, I think is still very, very much a part of their everyday life.
Stephon's not the first child I buried, okay? I buried a daughter, which was first. She lived for 10 minutes. And then my firstborn son was murdered due to community violence. I had 8 children, so Stephon was my 4th child. He was really passionate, very protective of me, very super protective of his mom, and the whole family. If something was going on, you call Papa and he's coming, like no questions asked. You know, when DeMarcus, my first son, was murdered, street violence begets street violence. So I understood that. You know, even though he was a baby, he was 16, I understood it. Does that make sense? But with the police, I couldn't understand that. All of the emotions that could possibly come up with that, I think I've experienced. And so because I found my faith again, I found my voice, okay? And my voice comes in a perspective of empathy and giving the mothers who haven't found their voice yet a voice.
A lot of our mothers in our communities have lost their sons and their daughters. And it was really important that from Stephon Clark's mother's standpoint to make sure other mothers were here and they were brought together so they can share their experiences.
The passing of the bill AB 392 with the Stephon Clark law for California will prevent other mothers from having to go through what I did with my son. And that's the ultimate goal, to make change. I do that because I refuse to celebrate the day that my son was murdered. I do that to celebrate his life. I do that to bring a safe place for other mothers to come together and dance and sing and say good memories about their sons and not have to be worried about the police, the news, the laws, the mayors, the critics, none of that. Just love and memories and good food and music.
And I mean, it's wonderful that when we can be there to talk and to be there, lift each other, because you can't, nobody's child is better than nobody else's child. Nobody's fight is no better than nobody else's fight. We all are in here together. A lot of us pray together and hold each other and talk to each other in the middle of the night when nobody else is around, when everybody's gone, when the camera's gone, the pictures are gone, the people's gone. We call each other and we embrace. We talk on FaceTime. We cry together. We hold each other. We do a lot with each other to uplift it, because some days you'll have good days, some days you'll have bad days, and some days you don't even feel like getting up. I think because by the grace of God, I was able to come up for air, okay? I'm able to give them a voice now, and I'm able to redirect my perspective. Like, I didn't go through this for nothing. I'm not going to allow the pain that I've experienced to be in vain. There's going to be a change in this nation, and then the mothers will be heard.
Nearly 2 years after the death of Stephon Clark, the Fortune Schools chose to name its playground in memory of Clark.
Stephon was a playful person. This is his kind of light. His energy is going to be in this playground. And I know he's looking down. I know he's so happy. And I know he's so proud of our family and how we've been able to keep his legacy alive. I
am Blessed Child Community, and I work for the South Side, Sacramento. I knew that little Papa would be proud that his name wouldn't be forgotten and be in vain. Youth working in the backyard where he was murdered. Just grow things around them, grow some greens, potatoes for their families. They ain't got to go to the store. They can, grow their own food. And so that's what, it's a wonderful thing. That's what's going on for my grandson.
The fact that the dialogue of what needs to be done different is here now, is hope now. I am Stephon Alonzo Clark, but I am Sacramento too. This is my home, and we will have change here.